Welcome back to another episode of Cheating Exposed. My name is Lourdes Fernandez and my book is now available on Amazon Kindle, link in bio. And today's topic hits a nerve because it's one of the most gaslighted warning signs in dating and relationships. This episode is called Flirtation and Gaslighting When Boundaries Get Blurred. Today we're going to be talking about those early, subtle behaviors that don't technically count as cheating, but leave you feeling disrespected, insecure, and questioning your own reality. So let's dive right in. Let's take a look at the psychology of boundary testing, and here's something important. Cheating almost never begins with the actual betrayal. It begins with boundary testing. And in many cases, that looks something like this. I was just being friendly, or you're overreacting, or you're insecure, you need to relax. Does this sound a little bit familiar? This is classic gaslighting, and it's used to deflect responsibility when someone's behavior has made you uncomfortable. So instead of addressing your concern, they flip the script and question your emotional stability. So if we want to take a look at what blurred boundaries look like, let's break down a few examples of how this plays out. Number one, they flirt with others in front of you and then they minimize it. They might compliment someone else's appearance or laugh a little too long at the conversation or use some sort of physical touch and then turn to you and say something like, "Relax, it was harmless." Number two, they entertain flirty messages online, heart reacting to bikini pics, constantly replying to thirst traps or vague late night DMs. But if you bring it up to them, they'll say something like, "It's just social media." Number three, they keep exes or old flings close under the guise of a friendship. And this one's tricky because not all exes are threats. For example, if they're co-parenting a child. But if your partner hides the nature of those conversations or keeps you out of the loop, then that's definitely emotional triangulation. And number four, they accuse you of being jealous when you're simply setting a boundary. If your concern becomes the problem and not their behavior, you're being emotionally manipulated. So why do people even do this? From a psychological lens, this kind of behavior is often about ego maintenance and power dynamics. People who flirt with others while in a relationship and justify it are often feeding off external validation. It makes them feel attractive, desired, or in control. But when they won't take ownership of how it affects their partner, that's emotional immaturity, or worse, emotional manipulation. Some may not be planning to cheat yet, but they're keeping their options open. And here's the key insight. Flirtation that crosses your boundary isn't about cheating. It's about disrespect. Let's take a look at the red flags of flirtation and cheating, but let's be clear. Flirting on its own doesn't always mean someone is cheating, but in committed relationships, flirting outside the partnership, especially when it causes discomfort and confusion, can be a gateway behavior. And why? Because flirtation tests emotional fidelity. It's not about physical touch. It's about emotional availability. And when your partner is consistently giving that energy to other people, it leaves you feeling emotionally depleted, like you're in competition when you shouldn't feel like you're in competition with anybody else. Let's take a look at healthy boundaries versus control. And let's try and balance this out. It's healthy to talk about what feels respectful in your relationship, but it's not controlling to say, "I'm not comfortable with you calling other people baby," or "It bothers me when you heart react to your ex's selfies," or I feel dismissed when you say I'm overreacting. These are boundaries and not ultimatums. And the difference? Boundaries protect your peace, but control tries to limit theirs. So what do you do if you feel like you're experiencing manipulation or gaslighting? Number 1, start with a calm, non-accusatory conversation. Try something along the lines of saying, when you say things like that in front of others, it makes me feel disrespected. I need more clarity around our boundaries. Number 2, pay attention to the response and not just the words. Do they get defensive or do they reflect and take it seriously? Number 3, don't ignore the patterns. One-off flirtation might be innocent, but consistent boundary pushing followed by gaslighting is a major red flag. Number 4, trust what your body is telling you, because if you feel anxious, dismissed, or confused every time this topic comes up, that's your nervous system signaling that something just isn't right. So if I can leave you with my final thoughts with today's episode, let's end it with this truth. You're not asking for too much by wanting to feel safe, respected, and emotionally secure in your relationship. Flirting may seem small, but repeated micro boundary violations paired with gaslighting can erode trust faster than we realize. Love should feel like a safe space, not a guessing game. And thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cheating Exposed. If you've ever been made to feel crazy for expressing a boundary, then this one was definitely for you. And next up, we're going to be talking about the glow-up gamble, when a sudden change in appearance might be more than just a confidence boost. Until then, I'm Lourdes Fernandez, and please take care of your instincts because they're not irrational, they're informational. If the information I shared resonated with you, please don't forget to follow, share, and leave a comment to push my content out to other viewers who might find this information useful. And remember, awareness is the first step to protecting your peace.